if you're starting at the eyes, what I try to do is make the eyes look as though he's looking at you from wherever position you are, like one of those pictures that is on a wall and you think the eyes are following you. So his eyes are a key feature. The gesture with him holding his hat and with in protecting the sheep is meant to sort of give it some caring attitude. I originally had the collar up to a higher level here, and I might even put him back up there, but Mary said she thought it looked a bit too harsh, and it didn't look very inviting because it looked as though it was more cold. So I reduced it, and it's this constant changing things until you're satisfied and happy with it that you keep altering things for. And I've got the basic elements there. It's just a matter of putting on colour to make the colour work, because I'd like it to look a bit like a porcelain figurine in some ways, although it's obviously much larger, because it is, the figure's 9 feet in height, and with the base it comes to about 13 feet as a sculpture. The base obviously will be in the ground in concrete, and it will give it the stability and the balance, counterbalance it is. You can see he's got buttons on here. These are old police buttons which I put on. I don't like using artificial bits, but when I cover them with fiberglass, they will look more in keeping with the rest of it. I've tried different materials for buttons just to see how they work. The first coating of the white is just to see how the pigment looks on the body. When I get all the other colours on, I was thinking of giving it a final coat in a sort of a bronze and allowing some of the colour to show through, so that it is a muted coloration. At the moment he looks as though he's got a clean white shirt, but that will be softened by the treatment it gets at a later stage. So it might change the expression a bit. Right. So I was thinking that if you got a few shots closer, then it would be interesting to make a comparison later. The sheep's head and the hands want finishing up to a good standard. I don't think you can feature this character was to be worked on next, the dog, which fits around the front and the side of his left leg, and it's meant to look as though his tongue's hanging out and he's ready to go on the first command. So basically the metal armature has been built on to give it the skin, and then I work on the details on the top and take it up to a higher standard. So he's in proportion, and he's also in proportion with the sheep, which has already been made. Sections which fit onto the base like that. First of all, I made a cardboard template, and then made the rest out of fiberglass, and that eventually will be the level at which is disconnected from the base to the armatures. It gives a different dimension to it like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can see him sideways on now.
Which is what you couldn't see before. so that the view from the back's just as interesting as it is from the front, as the sides. And that's when you're making a sculpture, you haven't just got to concentrate on the front on a piece, but on the other areas. To make his head more proportioned, so you start at the head and you work to the feet, and then you come back readjusting everything to make the proportions more accurate. So it won't stick, of course, so I have to keep moving its position so that I can then get the head and the hat finished. You can see I've increased the size of the hat to fit the head to give it a better proportion.